Now, there were plenty of people who have got in touch with me about, Paul, why don't you talk about digital IDs? Are they coming to Australia? Well, Malcolm Roberts, Senator from One Nation, has put out a tweet this evening that there is a plan for a debate in the Senate tomorrow. The government will be introducing something to do with digital IDs coming to Australia. So let's have the chat right now. Now, the best information I can get about what this government's version of a digital ID is comes via this YouTube video from literally 2 months ago.
Sharing your driver's licence, proof of age card, passport, Medicare card, birth certificate and address details puts all that information at risk of falling into the wrong hands. Say hello to Australia's digital ID system. Australia's digital ID system brings together government and industry digital IDs. This will mean more secure digital ID options for you to choose from and more ways for you to use them.
Now, Joe, the people who hate this idea are quick to point out examples where, when it comes to your physical driver's licence card, you can hand that over at a hotel and the government doesn't know that you're at the hotel. You can hand it over to rent a car. The government doesn't know that you're doing that. But once it's all digital and interlinked between government and the private business, then government has a way of keeping an eye on you. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I can certainly understand those concerns, and there'd have to be enormous safeguards. And one can't help but be reminded of the Australia card that Bob Hawke tried to bring in, and immediately there was a huge backlash. Even though my understanding is that, well, certainly it wasn't digital for one thing. It was that bit of card that you could hand over, and was supposedly impregnable, as people are now arguing. But people just did not like the idea, even though it was just like the American Social Security card or something like that. So. I can understand why this sets people off the wrong way. The truth, though, is that I think all our ID, all our sensitive information, I mean, even if you just look at the way cash is going to be digitised now. And I think instead of sort of looking backwards and saying, no, we've still got to have all this physical product to be able to carry around with us, is to how to make those digital footprints as secure as they can possibly be.
There is no such
But the thing, of course, Bronwyn, on all of this is that how is the information stored? I mean, New South Wales had problems with the data that it had. We certainly know that people had their moment of QR codes and government knowing whether you're here, there, or everywhere. I don't know whether people will be that excited about doing it. If it's optional, okay, good luck to you. But I've got a feeling whether these things are optional or not is in part what they're going to discuss in the Senate the next couple of days.
Well, the point is, Paul, that no system is infallible. Someone can hack into whatever system is put in place. So by putting all your information into one single entity means that everything about you can be hacked once. The more you separate it out, the safer you are in my book. That's my considered opinion. But we've all read 1984. We all know what Big Brother is. We all know that people knowing where you are and what you're doing is those people who want to control you want to do. I was on the forefront fighting against the Australia card, and we were successful. And I haven't changed my mind since.
All right, well, we will wait, watch and see where it all goes in the next little while. 30 seconds from each of you. And I want to put this one to you, which is the conversation about one-term Albo. Now, look, my personal view, his most likely thing at the next election is him returning as Prime Minister, but in a minority government controlled by Teals and Greens. But Bronwyn, give me 30 seconds. How unrealistic or realistic is the conversation of a one-term federal government?
I believe it's realistic. And I was at that meeting when Peter spoke on Saturday, strongly, persuasively. And I remember in the lead up to the 2010 election with Tony Abbott, where I was very much on the forefront, I thoroughly believed we could win that election. And in moral terms, we did. It was two ex-Nats that did the dirty and gave Gillard her minority government. I do believe in the strange way that seats are broken up these days, that it is possible to do. And he's got the will and the determination and the strength to push it forward.
Joe, I'm going to get in trouble from Maddie, who I must obey, but still, give me literally less than 30 seconds.
I think the difference between now and Rudd is that there is no way that Albo will be rolled by his own party. The party has learnt its mistakes from that era. It took a while, but they have. And so that will not happen, and that makes all the difference in the world. And it would be unprecedented if it was a one-term government. since World War II.
I agree. Thank you, gang. Do appreciate it. Of course, the caucus rules are very different than where they were a whole lot all those years ago. But so in our TV lives. Thank you very much.